Take a picture.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of hopsgeeknews, your home for comic books, some movies, some TV shows. We typically feature a beer, of course. This episode is brought to you by, well, not brought to you by anybody. However, we are going to talk about Peacemaker Season 2, Episodes 1 and 2. We're going to be spoiling those two episodes. They are out now on HBO Max. And also, we're going to kind of talk about, break down what is canon and how James Gunn cleverly, masterfully talked about canon. And then also Lauren's going to quiz me on some Star Wars trivia that she got from the Mickey boat. Would you look at that? So first things first, Hopsgeek News, any social media platform, any podcasting platform, make sure to like, subscribe, share, follow, drop a review, all of that good stuff. I sound like an auctioneer. Here, going once, going twice. Hey, there we go. To the highest bidder with the highest review. That really helps the algorithm find us, help us, all that good jazz. No more Comic-Cons this rest of the year, but we are going to be rolling into spooky season pretty soon, which is our favorite time of year. I will be going down to Disney. Maybe there's going to be some comic, store action going down there. And then also, of course, before that, we'll be in the holidays. My God, it's September. So, geez, can't believe it. Now, the beer I have today in honor of Peacemaker, because, the soundtrack absolutely rips. All right. It's a Master Shredder from the Veil. And so I just felt like it was the perfect beer for this. Veil's a good brewery. And the Peacemaker soundtrack absolutely rips. So Lauren, let me guess, what sideward brew do you have over there today?
I actually don't. I have water. Drank a lot of beer the last 3
party
days.
hard. Wow, I have too. I drank some beers the last couple of days. I was like, I can't leave it hanging again.
Well,
Dang,
I
so
also feel like they drink a lot of Bud Light in the second episode, so I'm drinking water
oh
as
yeah.
a nod to their Bud Light. Hardy har
I mean,
har.
it's both the same, essentially. Bud Light, water, it's all the same. All right, it's the same.
It's refreshing. I was gonna grab a beer. I was like, I don't really feel like
I
having a
have
beer.
my
So.
Disney mug even for
Oh,
just
but
for.
see, now I look at that and it looks so pretty, and now I feel like I should go grab a beer.
No, we're not here for that. No, how was the cruise? Before we get into what we're reading or watching, talk to us about the cruise. Believe it or not, Lauren's a celebrity. The Star Wars bar on the ship, they remembered you.
Yeah, I don't know if that's good or bad though. So it was funny because
I
we
think
were
it's good.
on this
Why not?
we were on this boat, the Disney Wish, at the end of June. And so this is the boat that has a Star Wars bar and it has a Marvel restaurant. And we walked into the Star Wars bar the first day, and the guy behind the counter, which I recognized because he was behind the bar like the whole time we were there last time, he started laughing. And I'm like, is he laughing because he remembers us? And Josh, my husband, goes, oh, so do you remember us? He goes, yeah, I remember you guys. And I'm like, I don't know if that's good or bad. And then he made a comment. He's like, some people will ask me, do you remember me from a past cruise? And he's like, and a lot of times I don't. He's like, there's just some people that are memorable and some people that aren't. And I'm like, I still don't know if that's good or not.
I think that's got to be a good thing. I don't know. I take that as a good thing. I'm going a good thing. It's a Disney cruise. You know how many people they're always out there. You'll have to like tell me who it is. So when I go on this one in December, I'll just be like, do you remember this girl?
Whoop, I froze for a second. So then what's funny too is the last night, last night I went in there for one last drink and I'm like, I'm gonna get one of the fancy cocktails or Skywalker wine. I want to do something that's festive because the beers aren't really festive. And so I'm looking at the menu and it's just me at the moment. And the guy comes over and he's like, what do you want? And I was like, well, I kind of want to get some fancy. I'm like, I don't know. And he goes, all you've gotten in here is beer. I'm like, I'm just gonna get a beer. I just got a beer. I'm like, I'll do the IPA.
You have to tell me his name because I feel like I want to go in there and be like, do you remember this girl when you were here when I go on? Because I'm going in December.
I actually don't have his name, but what's funny is after I went in June,
remembered you.
I remember faces. I don't remember names. I don't think he remembered my name. But he's actually on our TikTok, funny enough, because I made a reel for the Hyperspace Lounge, the Star Wars bar back in June, and he's actually in it for like a split second.
Screenshot it, send it to me. I'm going to go and I'm going to find him. That's my mission when I go on the Merry Christmas cruise on the Wish. I'm going to find out who it is, but that's awesome. That is hilarious. That's amazing. I love that.
I also went to a brewery that you recommended, and the guy remembered Carrie's tattoo.
Look at
So
see. Listen, guys, we are global. No
again,
big
I
deal.
don't know
But
if it's true or
we're
not
known
that
in the
we're
Caribbean.
rememberable.
We're well known in the Bahamas. I want to say that's a good thing. No
So
big deal. I'm gonna brag about that. So
it's funny. I actually bought a book at that brewery. I'm not even exactly sure what it was kind of one of those moments where it's like this beer tastes like I'm going to start buying merch. And
oh yeah.
they had a book that was written, it's somehow connected to the brewery, but it's like urban legends and tales of beer on the island. And I'm like, screw it, I'm buying this book. So I will find out
That's
what that's
awesome.
about.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Urban legend. That'd be good for our roll into spooky season. We can kind of talk about some of that action and because we love doing
I
cryptids and
didn't even
urban
think for
legends and
spooky
things.
season, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and so I did do Marvel trivia. I did win. They were all different questions from when we did in Europe. However, the bonus question was the same.
And you got it
And I think
wrong.
I gave the same incorrect response again. So it's what year did
Dude.
Black Panther first appear? And the worst part is I had literally just read that comic to prepare for a Fantastic Four episode because Black
I
Panther first
know.
appeared
It's
in
66.
Fantastic Four in 1966. And there's even a picture of us holding up our medals with that in the background where it says
There
1960.
is.
And I
That's
still did
oh no.
63. Fortunately, the other person picked 1970, so I was closer. Actually, I think they gave them
Thank
to both
God.
of us.
Yeah, that's
But
so cool.
I did do Star Wars trivia, I didn't win, and then I did advanced Star Wars trivia. And so here are some questions that I'm going to ask you.
Oh, I have
This
a
first
bad
one I
feeling
think
about
is
this.
easy. I'm also preparing you for when you go in December. And anybody else listening, let us
I
know if
went
you know.
19 for 20 and still lost in Star Wars before. Like, that's how brutal Star Wars gets on. I don't think people realize Star Wars trivia is ruthless. If any other trivia is on these Mickey boats, Star Wars is ruthless.
I think I got like 13 out of 20 on the regular
Still
Star
pretty good.
Wars, which I was by myself. I mean, Kaylee was there, but Kaylee doesn't,
Right.
doesn't know it as much as I do, and Josh doesn't know it at all. So, this is the advanced Star Wars. It was 18 and up only, and there was probably only, I don't know, 15 people in there. So, and yeah. So, okay. So here's your first question. The pod race in the Phantom Menace was held to commemorate what holiday?
Oh, the Bunta Eve or whatever. Well, it's the Bunta Eve or something. I don't know the
Yes.
holiday.
Bunta Eve
It was
holiday.
Bunta Eve? Okay, it was.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right,
So
sweet.
that's the question I thought you were going to get right. So now here's where it gets tricky. They want an exact quote here. After knocking her
Oh
down, what
no.
does K2SO say to Jin Urso?
I'm here to rescue you. Please stop resisting.
Okay, so that's kind of like what I said because I was like,
Or
I,
stop.
I was thinking, Thanos is here, rejoice, because I knew it was a similar situation. So what? But you had to have it exactly. So it was congratulations, you are being rescued. Please
Oh,
do not
that's right.
resist.
That's right. Dang it. Now
Like
I
you
can
had to
hear it
be
now.
exact. And this is the last.
Dang, that's right.
Well, okay, so then they asked the Yoda quote that's like, do or do not, there is no try. And so it's like,
Hmm.
what does Yoda say to Luke? But you had to write no, try not, do or do not, there is no try.
Oh man, they must have they got real ruthless on that. Like I said, Star Wars trivia is ruthless on these things, man.
Now, this one's hilarious. I had no clue what this was. What character is named in part after George Lucas's son?
Oh, I have no idea. That's out of my realm.
Do you have any idea what his son's name is?
No, I honestly have no idea what his kids' names are other than the luckiest kids on earth.
Dexter Jetster, the guy whose pants
Oh,
are
so
falling
Dex.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, Dex.
that
Okay, that
Obi-Wan
makes
goes to
sense.
for info. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he is named in part after George Lucas's son. That was a weird
Interesting.
question.
That was okay. I
There's
didn't
a
know it was
space for
Dex, but
some
I know who
Star Wars
Dex is.
trivia
Yeah,
on the
he's the one
Wikipedic.
who tells him about Camino and everything like that in the archives, man.
Yeah. But it was
Hmm.
just like when they asked it, I'm like, I didn't even know he had a son. This is his
I knew
personal
he had
life. I didn't
kids.
know.
Yeah, I don't know what their names are because I don't. No offense, but I don't care because I'm not friends with them, and I'm never
Guessing
probably
it's
going to meet
Dexter?
them, and they're the
Right.
luckiest kids on earth again. But
And if you
huh,
do, what are you
that's
gonna do?
pretty.
Like, "Oh, how's your son Dexter?"
Yeah, right. Like
Like, "Why are you
that
asking
is
about my son, you weirdo?"
Star Wars, man. Like I'm telling you, it's all ruthless on there. So that's a good segue. Let's go into what we've been reading or watching. So I have Masterminds by Zach Kaplan, Dark Horse Comics. He came on our show a few times talking Kill All Immortals, the trade, and he hyped up Kill All Immortals number, the second round is coming out October. Got to pick that up, pre-order. But he teased Masterminds, which is a really issue one is out. It's really freaking good. Yeah, it's like kind of like Severance. I forget it's Severance meets oh man, I can't remember what he said off the top of his head, but it's basically, if you're a game designer, trigger warning right off the bat, because Zach really hits home with the modern day gaming, because he talks about how soulless it is. It's all about NFTs and pay to win and all this other stuff. And it's just dang, yeah, and really sucks. But then it goes into really deep mystery, and I really feel like there's some in the artwork. I have to go back and relook, because I do feel like there's a lot of Easter eggs within the artwork that I missed probably. But it's a deep book. It's really good. It's really crafty, all of that good stuff. I did Absolute Wonder Woman issue 11, Kelly Thompson. This one, what I really like, what Kelly Thompson's writing about Wonder Woman, and it's Hayden Sherman, Jordi Belair, Becca Carey as well from DC, is not every issue is Diana punching her way out of things like we typically normally see in a Wonder Woman comic. She's, emotional. She has a lot of depth. She's got to use her brain and her, her wits, and really think things through and find alternative ways. And the colors in this book are really beautiful. It's this maze essentially meant to trap everybody and everything like that, but it's done that where it's a beautiful looking maze with the colors and everything. So read that. Peacemaker presents the Vigilante Eagly double feature. Issue 5 is out now. That wraps up the 5 issue. This is such an unhinged. It's so unhinged. Absolutely. There's just, I don't even know the words to describe, but what I can tell you is that Vigilante gets lucky, and Chris has an
Oh,
orgy at the,
jeez.
and there's also old lady getting it as well. It's just, it's so unhinged, man. It
Wait,
is
does
Peacemaker.
Soldier Boy show up?
No, but it is absolutely, just all I can say is this book is unhinged. All 5 issues are out. I need you guys to go and read it. It's very adult. Don't let kids read it. I can tell you that much. But Mitch Gerrits, Tim Seeley, Rex Ogle, they're all on this book. James Gunn consulted, so it's kind of in the realm of the universe. Definitely pick that up. Mr. Terrific, I read that as well. Issue year 1, number 4. This one shows basically Mr. Terrific getting his moxie back, but we meet Batman in this one. And Batman is more antagonistic than hero in this as well, which I thought was a really interesting dynamic, because normally Batman is there to save the day, but no, he is essentially kind of the antagonist on this issue, which I thought was cool. And then I read a 6-issue mini run from Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale that came out in 2001 that I found in my box of comic books. Daredevil Yellow. It is
Ah.
so damn. So I have the entire run of Man Without Fear. I'll have to read that, and then I need to read the Father's Day. But I read,
Who
I'm going to
did the
bring
Man
this
Without
down.
Fear? Is that Chip Zdarsky or no?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Sadarsky, because Charles Soule did the other ones, which I can't remember the run off the top of my head. I'm newer to Daredevil comics, I'll be
I
honest.
actually read the
Uh,
first 10 issues of that this weekend. Funny enough.
I'll have to bring you these 6 issues when I come in October, because I think you'll really enjoy this. It's basically Matt writing a letter of grief to Karen because she is dead. As you know, Karen dies in the comic. Spoiler. So it's talking about, his father's death and his getting his start as Daredevil and meeting Karen. And there's a funny bit in there that, this isn't really a spoiler to the whole story, but Foggy basically, after immediately meeting Karen, pulled out a ring and told Matt he was going to propose to her, even though they'd never
Oh
gone on a date and
gosh.
stuff. It was ridiculous. They kind of get hung
I
up
don't
on
like when they
Karen and
make
stuff,
Foggy
but
like a complete dork.
it was, yeah, Foggy was not a good look for him in this run, but it was really emotional. I thought it was great the way it was narrated, as though Matt's writing a story to Karen because he's grieving, he misses her so much, and it's also about him getting a start in Daredevil. It's really good. So I'm going to bring this down to you. Um, Other than that, my kids have discovered Wednesday Adams. Yay, I guess. I'm not really into that show. I can't, it's just, but I am on season 3 of Superman and Lois. Wasn't ready for the jump scare of the actor switch, which I understand the actor of Jordan left due to mental health issues, but I didn't know there was an actor switch until I'm watching it. And I was like, whoa, that was weird. It's a little
Right.
jarring at first, but and then Clark and Lois are getting freaky, and I totally forgot. I'm pretty sure you told me that she has cancer, and so
Mhm.
I didn't remember any of that while they're talking about the possible pregnancy. And so I'm like, oh, I bet you she has cancer. And now it's coming to me where, yeah, Lauren told me she does. So
Yeah,
yay.
sorry.
No, no, I was guessing it. I completely, if you tell me stuff for things haven't watched, I tend to forget and
Oh
then I
yeah, I
watch.
know. I've noticed that
And
with
then you're like,
Supernatural a lot. Yeah.
yeah, and then you're like, I've told you this. I've spilled this many
Right. You're like,
times.
why didn't you tell me they did an episode of Wrestling and Supernatural? I did.
But it's really good. And Automatopoeia shows up in the first episode of season 3, which is Kevin Smith created this character, and I thought that was
Mm.
really cool. So yeah, that's what I got going. What I know you were on the boat, so not a whole lot going on, but you did read Daredevil. Tell me what you thought about
Yeah.
Daredevil Man Without Fear.
Well, on the balcony of the boat because we did
Oh,
not have little
that's
kids. We just went with the
delightful.
older kid. Yeah, it's lovely. That is my favorite place to read is near an
I didn't
ocean.
realize you didn't have the 2 younger kids as well. That is
Yeah,
oh,
you didn't know that? It was just Josh and
dude,
I, Kaylee and Sergio.
no.
That was it, yeah. So it's
That's
quite
awesome.
lovely.
All right.
So yeah, like Saturday night, as soon as we were done with dinner, like the kids, my partner and her boyfriend, they went up and did the whole pirate night thing, and we went back to the room, and Josh passed out, and I read on the balcony for a
But
good
that's the
hour and a
most,
half.
like,
Um,
old people thing, man, because I would do the same. I'd be like, "All right, good night." And Carrie'd be like, "What
yeah.
the hell?"
I've seen well, and he does on the Mickey boats, he'll just put on a Marvel movie every night and just pass out, and then I forget what it was.
We
Oh, I
do
was
the
like before
same.
dinner, I was like, "Well, I wanted to go to the advanced Star Wars trivia." He's like, "Well, I wanna finish Doctor Strange," and I'm like, "Because we can't do that on Disney Plus at home.
I
Enjoy
know
watching Doctor
we have
Strange."
this all at home, right? But he's like, "But it's not the same because we have the
It's not
Marvel
the same.
dinner experience, damn it."
There you go. So yeah, I read the first 10 issues of the Chip Zdarsky run, and it's I'm really liking it. It's really well done, and it also has like a mob element to it, which is kind of cool.
Ooh,
And you got kingpins in it and everything. So I have the next 10 issues because I had bought the 4 trades. Like that was what my comic shop had recommended when
oh,
Daredevil
nice.
came out, and I think they even like special. They had run out of them around Daredevil, and they're like, we're gonna order more, and so that was the one they recommended, and then there was another Daredevil run that I got that I read a while ago, but that was more like from the
Uh,
'80s. I think that was
I
Frank
mean, Born
Miller.
Again probably. It was probably the Born Again one, which I have the little compendium that they came out with, and I read that one, so I have that one as well. Really good,
Was that the
by
one
the way.
Frank Miller did?
Mhm.
Yeah. Then so that one I read in like March, and then this one I just
Nice.
started. So now I want to finish that. And then today, while Logan and I were having reading time, he read Dogman, and I started a new supernatural book. So this is the
Oh,
fourth one. And what it like, so I've read the first three, and they all like take place, like they gradually go through the show. So this book, I've only read like the first 25 pages. It takes place right after changing channels, and it's called The Heart of
okay.
the Dragon, but the first part that I've read, it has to do with a demon in the 1800s. So I'm actually already kind of like, "Ooh,"
Ooh.
because next month we're gonna be doing a lot of supernatural stuff for our podcast
Yes.
and for Nerd Initiative, so I will be doing a book review on that for Nerd
And
Initiative.
they're getting ready to have their comic run from Dynamite come out too.
Yeah, that comes out October 1st, so I'm very excited for that. So we're
Interesting.
gonna be hyping up that comic and just talking a lot of supernatural stuff, so
We will be. We will be
that's
indeed.
I
That's
did watch
rad.
Dexter,
Um,
still very
Unfortunately, we do have some news on Dexter. We'll go into it in a minute. I will
mm.
say that one book that I will have read, but I haven't read as of yet, will be Stephanie Phillips' Imperial War She-Hulk from Marvel. Um, Ken was supposed to send that to me because I'm doing a review with Megan. He sent me Imperial War Black Panther instead. I know, first world problems, right? But I do want to say shout out though to my friend Chris from work because he's the one who gave me all these comic boxes, and so like there's a ton of the Wolverine, and that's how I got to read Daredevil Yellow and have all the Man of Fear and all these Daredevil stories. So I want to shout out Chris. He's the one that gave it to me. I really like no money. He wants to just downsize. So shout out to that dude. Big
all
time.
heroes for capes.
I love that dude. Seriously, he's like the best thing that's happened to me at work. But going into news, Dexter, sorry, but they have canceled the prequel show of Dexter because it was either Dexter, the new show that they have going on right now that you're watching, or the prequel show, and they had to cut one of them, I guess.
So I guess Dexter
So
Resurrection's doing really well, so they cut the prequel. That's lame because the prequel was really good.
they both were doing well. However, they just got acquired, and budget. They could very well spend money on both shows, but
Come on,
they're
Dexter's been
trying to cut
keeping
money.
Showtime afloat for decades.
No kidding, especially when the show is really good.
I
From
tell you, as
what
soon
I've
as
heard, I've
Dexter
never heard
ends,
a bad person say anything about
I'm
the either
the new
one right
one.
now,
Yeah, I'm canceling Showtime the second it ends. I
as you
only get
should.
Showtime when it has Dexter. I don't even get it for Yellow Jackets.
Poor
I'll
Tim.
watch Yellow Jackets if I have it during. Yeah, poor Tim.
Poor Tim Showtime. He's only good for Dexter. Poor guy. You're better than that, Tim. Don't let her talk to you like that.
Uh,
Super Troopers 3 is filming. I had no idea that there was a third Super Troopers that was in the works.
I was like, what
I
was the second one? I don't know that I saw that one.
I liked the second one. It came out a few years ago, a while ago now, probably more than a few
I don't
years
think
ago.
I
But
ever
the
saw
first
it.
one is obviously one we quote all the time. It's one we were supposed to watch this month for our Patreon movie night, but we're trying to work it out because Micah chose that. So as soon as or we can get a chance to sit down and watch that, that's going to be on. But man, I love Super Troopers. Those guys are just so funny together. Carrie puts on, it's like Tacoma Fire or something like that they're in. A couple of them are in on Netflix, and it's just like a mindless TV show. So if you like that humor, you can put that on. But yeah, last bit of news. I don't I've never really gotten into Highlander. Have you ever?
There
All
can
I know
only
is
be
that there's a,
one on
yeah,
this
that's all I know.
podcast. No, I was never into it. Josh was into it, so I've seen the original one, which is not great. And the main guy who plays the Highlander guy is like a terrible actor.
Yeah, I mean,
It's Sean Connery. But
it's
there's
not great.
multiple Highlanders in the movie, so I don't understand
I
why
don't
they're
get that's
saying
what
there
thank
can
you.
only be
Thank
one.
I don't understand the whole there can only be one, but there's multiple. And then they made multiple movies.
Oh, see, I only saw the first one. Josh and
There's
I
like
both
four
drive
of
a
them or something
Highlander,
like
so
that.
there's more than one in our driveway. So,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
a
they're
little
making a
suburban
movie
parent joke.
starring Henry Cavill, Karen Gillan, and Dave Bautista, which I will watch it for those three
Yeah, for those
alone.
three, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna watch that movie. But I couldn't tell you anything about Highlander or its lore. The only Highlander I know is, like Lauren said, the Toyota version. So that's all the news we kind of have right now. Let's go ahead and take a quick break. Then we, if I don't choke and die here real quick, are going to go into Peacemaker season 2. We're going to talk about what is canon, how did James Gunn do it, and then we're going to spoil episodes 1 and 2. So if you haven't watched yet, I recommend you bounce out, go watch, come back, or if you want to get spoiled, stick around. See you in a second.
Bunnytail Designs Co. is out of this galaxy, with bags for any and every occasion you just may need. Maximum effort was put into every bag, and there's koozies too. Whether you're raising muggles or wizards, these are the bags for you. Or hunting demons, or running from demigorgons, or traveling the galaxy. So get a bag and peep that fit. Great for kids too. Cheers.
I went to take my glasses off because I had to itch. I keep doing that lately. Oh, man.
That's funny.
What up, party people? We're back with Peacemaker. Warning, we will be talking canon first. However, will be spoilers. Spoilers ahoy, episode 1 and 2. We're going to talk them both. You can watch them. They're on HBO Max. Highly recommend. So, Lauren, why don't you break down for us what has become canon in James Gunn's new DC universe?
Yes, so if you want a recap of season 1, we did do that a couple weeks ago, but that doesn't go into what is canon and what is not. So here is what is canon based on the previously ons and what we've seen so far. So this is the James Gunn DC universe. So the previously ons do catch you up as far as what is canon. So we see Rick Flag Jr., who died in The Suicide Squad, not to be confused with
Yes.
Suicide Squad, which he was also in and played by the same actor, still, in fact, died like he did in The Suicide Squad. Amanda Waller is still a terrible person and is in trouble after her daughter, Adebayo, released the plan to set up Peacemaker for the deaths of the butterflies. Therefore, that mission in season 1 is all still good to go. And as well as how she acted in Suicide Squad, that is all still canon. This was even mentioned in Creature Commandos, which is canon to James Gunn, as James Gunn did that show.
Yes, it kicked off the DC universe. Yes.
So that means Project Starfish and Butterfly, canon. Take a sip every time we say canon.
Oh,
A
brother.
big change is at the end of the Peacemaker scene, like not at the end of that last episode. It's like they're Mandela affecting us right now. So they were
Yeah,
talking
they
about
are.
Aquaman doing things with fish, like the whole season, really. They talked about a bunch of things with Aquaman and fish, and Aquaman goes, "I'm so sick of that joke," and Flash is like, "It's not a joke." He's like, "F you, Barry." So none of that happened now. You have to pretend that didn't happen. So the Justice League that Amanda Waller called in too late to help with Project Butterfly went from Aquaman, the Flash, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and now it's Green Lantern, Hawkeye, Mr. Terrific, Supergirl, and the new Superman. And Adebayo says she asks for the Justice Gang, not the Justice League.
Yes. And honestly though, I'm down for that. I think that I'd rather them just go ahead and pretend that other stuff never happened, as terms of the other Justice League, and just be like, yep, this is it, move on,
Well,
and
the
just
fact
move
of
from there.
the matter is Peacemaker was just too good to just
Oh
ignore
yeah,
and just let go. And
you
yeah, with it
couldn't.
being James Gunn, yeah. I
And
wonder
not
how
to
those
mention, oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I wonder how the conversations went, like when they decided how they were gonna do this.
Well, I also feel not like Peacemaker was really good, but also yeah, it doesn't work. I don't think this season 2 would work if you changed up the characters and took them to a new Earth and just completely wiped clean everything and made them forget everything that happened and just start fresh with these characters because you've already spent time with them. So it would feel a little too weird to me and jarring. So this makes the most sense. And I wish, he's also talked about how he wouldn't have an issue recasting people either if the time came and they needed to do it for any reason. So I much prefer, I know it's a hot topic, sensitive topic, but I prefer this. It's just, yep, this is what happened. This is what we're going with. Move forward, because in the end, it doesn't really matter. It's not like it skipped a beat or anything. Nothing really changed. And if anything, it was kind of really seamless. The only thing that changed was the people that showed up, like we saw.
Right, and that was such an easy and quick fix, but I also wonder, and, like, we don't know, like, we're dealing with the multiverse now, maybe this is a different multiverse, maybe they'll make a joke one day where he'll meet another Peacemaker and be like, "Oh, yeah, you don't have an Aquaman that likes to F fish?"
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you
that's a good
never
point.
know.
Well, maybe
So
we'll eventually get our DC Aquaman, and then we can still get the jokes again.
there you go. Yeah,
Listen,
poor
it'll
Aquaman.
happen.
Poor the
Poor
deep.
guy. I know.
Ugh,
Poor
alright.
guy.
Namor doesn't really get messed with that like that as much,
No,
though.
he doesn't. He doesn't at all. Interesting, isn't it?
I think he's so powerful, he just commands
It's
respect,
because
you
he's
can't mess
out
with him.
banging Sue Storm. All right, like the guy just exudes moxie and charisma and riz.
He's got the riz,
He's
as the
got the
kids say.
riz.
So another thing they had in the previous on it, which is kind of interesting that they made sure to keep this in, was Chris mentions Kite Man, and that he beat up
Yeah,
Kite Man at one point. So I feel like Kite Man's got to show up. They also
I love
showed
that.
the dad making money from making his sons fight, which is how Peacemaker ended up accidentally killing his brother. So his origin story there is still the
The
same.
wrong boy died, Dewey.
And then Peacemaker still loves whitey tighties.
He
He's still a
does.
big fan of those. And then also in season 1, he mentions the room his dad had, the White Dragon, which Peacemaker is
Yeah.
now living in there. And Vigilante's like, "What is this room?" And he says, quote, "Quantum unfolding storage area. It leads to a dimensional module outside space." So clearly that is still canon, as it is also playing a big part in this season, at least what we have seen so far.
Yes. Now, season 1, it takes place 6 months later. Everybody's kind of, you know, in their own different way
Feeling
about,
feelings.
yeah, like they all kind of like not really fell out because they get to see each other once in a while, but the way everything went down, they're feeling some type of way. And it also takes place 2 months after the events of Superman, as we come to find out as well. So Harcourt is deep in her feelings. She's lost. She's been fired. She doesn't have a job. And then
Diagnosed
Adebayo,
toxic masculinity.
the diagnosis in this show, we're gonna get into that. It's pretty good.
She's like,
Not for just her either. But
oh,
Adebayo is doing a security service. Vigilante's, still working at the the
he's a
restaurant where he
busboy.
calls and he's like, I'm an expert. I'm an owl expert or whatever. And he's like, makes the joke. He's like, "What? I didn't know that. Are you serious?" And just the whole exchange between him and Steve G's character was absolutely,
On Economos.
incredible.
Well, and I love
Yeah.
that you can tell that they talk regularly. He's like, "Okay, vigilante, talk to you
I know
later."
he's still, you could like, he sticks on the phone. He does obviously doesn't want to be on the phone, but at the same time, I think he kind of likes it at the same
I do.
time.
I think he likes that he has friends now.
Yeah. And then of course Chris is out there, really kind of just lost. He had to kill his dad and he's struggling with that. And he goes and it's kind of kicks off with, Eagly wanting to go outside because it's cold. So he lets him into this room where he lets him fly around for a little bit and he sees that alien.
The
And I
quantum
really
leap.
love I love the alien where he says hi to him. And the alien just looks at him and he's just like, "You dick." It's so good. But no, it's a really good opening sequence because we have all these feelings that we're kicking off with. This is an emotional season. What are your kind of thoughts about episode 1 so far?
I thought it was fantastic. I love the Harcourt got the toxic masculinity thing, and I think
Yeah,
it's very interesting that Waller is only blackballing her, even though she wasn't the only one involved. And Chris does make a comment of like, well, he can't take it all out on, or she can't take it all out on her daughter, but like
yeah.
Economos is still working, like,
Well,
and
he got picked up by Argus. Yeah, like he's
yeah,
working for them now, and well, which obviously changed hands because as we see, Flag Senior is now in charge of Argus, which I called after. I just need to take a victory lap for a second because after Superman I had a feeling when they were like the metahumans are running the show now that Flag Senior was going to take over in some regard and start something going on, and he did. He's in charge of Argus. I just had to take that picture. I'm sorry.
So smart.
Anyways, I mean, even though Ray Charles probably saw that coming, but I'm going to go ahead and take
Oh,
credit. You're welcome, everybody.
you deserve a Pepsi for that one.
You're right.
So
Thanks.
and we also see in this episode where, Chris goes to the other world where he ends up meeting his dad and his brother, but it's a different
Oh
dad and a different
yeah,
brother.
they love.
And
Yeah,
it's so sad because he's not just mourning the brother he still feels like he killed no matter what everybody says to him,
right.
and the father that he killed that was a complete and utter POS,
Racist
top
POS, but they're
tier.
heroes in this world.
They're heroes in this world. So I feel like he's mourning the family that he's lost, and he's mourning the family that he never got to have, that he sees that another person that is him gets to have that. And I'm sure there's a
Yeah.
lot of like jealousy and a lot of anger and like,
Well,
a lot
it's
of resentment.
really interesting because Eagly goes to that door and tries to get in. And so he tries the code and he goes in. It's his house and his dad's there. He's like, oh, I thought you were in St. Louis or something like that. And he sees, the posters of the three of them. They're heroes in this world. And his dad loves him. And it's this what could have been, like what his life could have been, his ideal life. And we end up, Keith shows back up, which I thought was really cool. And he's a hero as well. And he has this "can I borrow your truck?" and or sorry, not yet. That's later on. But um, they have this really good moment where they're sharing a drink and they're talking and they're laughing. And then the two go to bed, or the dad goes to bed first. John Cena sitting there with his brother Keith, and they're having this really good moment. And his brother's like, "What's wrong with you, man? Are you all right?"
Right.
Because you
'Cause
can
it's
kind of tell
clearly
something's
on
off.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
When he's
And
not gonna
then
remember things, he doesn't have his life.
right. And, after Keith goes to bed and all that, something that I thought was really cool, like not cool, but really well done was John Cena just breaks down crying. And I was like, man, that kind of hit like a gut punch because you don't really expect it in a show like this to have as
You've seen him
big
vulnerable,
emotions.
but I feel
Yeah.
like
And
it's yeah.
he really took it a step, I feel like, in this episode, in this season, which then he goes to his room and he opens the phone and he sees the pictures, right? And that's when he finds out that him and Harcourt are a thing or were a thing in this world at the same
Or you
time.
jumped ahead, that's the next one. 'Cause
Oh no, because he goes in his room because that's when his other self shows up.
maybe he just maybe.
Yeah,
I guess
because
I
he
was
goes to his room and he's
confused
looking
because that's
around
when
and then
he
he
starts looking
sees
at the
it.
pictures.
He discovers it, and then at the end of the episode, that's when this version of Peacemaker shows up in his suit, and then they start to fight, and then our Peacemaker is getting his ass kicked by Earth 2 or whatever's Peacemaker, and they go into the room and they're fighting. And then I thought it was hilarious because our Peacemaker is about to die, because I thought
Mhm.
for sure that, hey, what was going to happen is that our Peacemaker kills this new Earth Peacemaker and they just slide into this universe and boom, that's how we get this new DC. But no, James Gunn did it really cool. He hits the jetpack on his chest and he flies up and gets impaled. And he's like, oh no, it was a whole accident. It was crazy. It
And
was
he didn't wanna kill him too, so it made it really
no,
sad. It was like he accidentally killed himself because he was doing self-defense. Like, it was like,
he
"What?
was beating himself up. They didn't have a chance to talk. Yeah. And it's
I'm
really
kicking
interesting,
my
like what that
ass."
version of Peacemaker would have been like. But it was a really good way, I thought, to, I hate this word, but subvert expectations, because we all had to know there was something going on there to get us into this new world. And lo and behold, he's going to try to double life, it seems like. And I thought that was really cool how it ended up, because then he dies and that's the end of the episode. It was
Yeah.
so well done. It was a funny episode. It
He's like, "Ooh."
was this the one with the orgy? This wasn't the episode.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. That
So
was.
it's
So there,
the
oh God,
orgy
I wasn't ready for
started
that
in this
orgy.
episode and kept going in the next episode, or I
Were
should say
you
kept
prepared for the
coming.
cocaine snorting orgy that we got in this? Because I didn't see that coming.
I didn't, but it made me think of Herogasm, and because
Yes,
the boys, they hired porn stars for those scenes, and so I would think that they did that for this too, and it makes complete sense.
probably.
You want to hire people that are comfortable being completely naked and doing things like that on
Yeah.
film. I wasn't shocked by any means. I
No,
mean, it was a
I
lot
guess I
of.
never thought to see something like that in the DC universe. Like you don't think about,
I
or
mean, they had
when
a
you're thinking
threesome in the
DC,
last
right? It was
Vigilante.
more of those like, oh, we're going there, because it's something you would think of seeing in The Boys, and I
Yeah,
just didn't expect it. And I was like, okay, but I like the risks, not even risks. I like this show doesn't hold back. It's willing
right.
to go to these places. And somebody left a comment on my review or recap of episode 1, and they're like, I had to turn it off as soon as that happened. This is so gross and disgusting. And I just thought it was a funny comment. Like, hey, I
Interesting.
don't disagree, but
That's
hey,
where
you know
I
what?
mean, what you think of all the violence that happened in season 1, and it's like that's where you're gonna draw the line is naked people and cocaine and strippers. That is kind of interesting because yeah, it's like The Boys and Invincible were like created to be different and more adult than DC and Marvel, and yeah, I didn't think of it like that. And yeah, you're straight up getting
Yeah,
a scene out of The Boys now in Peacemaker.
good.
I didn't feel like it was totally out of place. It made sense, and it did move the story along because it showed how disconnected he was from everything and how like he's trying to hide his pain in orgies and drugs and alcohol, and he can't not
As we
see.
all do.
If I had a nickel for every time I tried to
Ah,
drown my sorrows
I'd have
in
2
booze.
nickels, which is not a lot, but it's kind of weird that it's happened twice.
Ah,
Yeah.
I take
So
that howl at the moon.
episode. Oh, what?
Well, I was thinking of Crowley and Dean taking a howl at the
Oh
moon.
yes, yeah. I was like, Howl at the Moon. I was like, wait, you just went there recently. Do you have something to share? Jesus God. Um.
And they do orgies now there.
Oh, sick. Dueling orgies instead of the pianos. That's awesome.
Ooh. Ooh.
Episode 2. A man is only as good as his bird. Ah, yes. Starting with 8 months ago, now head of Argus, Rick Flag Sr. has once a report on his son's death,
Those
and we get the flashback
courts were
sequence.
sealed. He's like, give me all of it.
Yeah, he gets the reports. Yep. And he finds out who killed his son. And now we're back to present day where we have one dead
One in
Peacemaker
joke.
and one alive Peacemaker. Now, uh it's really funny because Vigilante, they help destroy the dead body, and then this is also when we get Tim Meadows and his bird blind. They really, oh my god.
I mean, they really pulled out all the stops, but I loved the vigilante like helping with the body. For one, he's all jealous he didn't get invited to the orgy.
I
And
know,
then
he's mad about.
which I don't blame him because he had a threesome with him in the last one, and now you're
You're
gonna
supposed
do
to be
this to him
buds,
again?
man.
That
Come
doesn't sound
on.
cool. But, I get your suffering, but you gotta think of your friend. Maybe he's suffering too. He's
Exactly.
not suffering, he's a complete psychopath, and we see that in how he disposes of other peacemakers' comically dead body, and they have him, like, dressed like Dexter. He's, like, got, like, the bone saw. Like, he was having a great time, and then he's mopping, and it just shows, like, how absolutely crazy he is, but
Unhinged he is.
he's completely unhinged, but then at the same time, like, he was the one that was like, "But your dad's a racist. But if you're working with your
Yeah.
dad and your dad's a racist, you're a racist too." So and then he's very supportive of his dad who's gay, and so he's, like, socially, he's all about, like, justice and doing the right thing, but he's a complete
He
psychopath.
okay, so, like, his intentions are there, but you're right. He kinda goes about it kinda the wrong way, and he's a complete psychopath, but the psychopath has morals, and I can respect that.
Yeah, they're just,
It's
you pick and choose.
I
He has social
really
morals.
respect it. Yeah. I can get down with that.
But yes, Tim Meadows, the ladies' man.
Yeah, oh god, bird blindness, man. It's hilarious because I thought he was messing at first, but no, he legitimately like I guess he has bird blindness, I guess.
Can
And
somebody
this
tell me
is
how big this bird is?
John
He's a
Economos
pervert.
kind of tells, yeah, he is. He goes in there and he's there to watch over John Economos, essentially, as we come to find out. And that they also know that every time Chris opens up the quantum door, they are alerted essentially of something going on. And now we also see that Adebayo's life is not great. Her and her wife are separated. She shows up and her wife wants nothing to do with her. Doesn't She lives somewhere else, and
Her
it's kind of
wife's
really
working at Jitters, and she makes her feel bad about that, though.
yeah,
But
and it's really kind of a sad
ooh,
situation. They recast her too. I don't know if you noticed that, but the wife is recast.
it
It's not
is?
the same. I'm 99% sure that it's not the same actress.
I did not realize that. I mean, she didn't have any pivotal scenes, but I didn't realize
Yeah.
I thought it was the same one. Huh.
And then this episode, though, we get that Flurry, who is Tim Meadows, keeps Economos out of their plans to raid Peacemaker's house. However, they were not aware of the Eagle defense system. I will say that Meadows, they go into and they get their ass kicked. The
They
Eagle
did
alert.
go they had the team and Tim Meadows was calling all the people very inappropriate things, like,
You're
he's nothing
right.
but
This is
titties.
before we see Merle. I apologize. Oop, I'll cut it out. Don't worry.
Michael
Uh,
Rooker.
yes, Michael Rook. I'll have to cut the whole thing out because you're right. That's my fault. They do go back to do it again. You're right. My bad. You take it. Continue. Fuck.
So then Tim Meadow and his bird blindness put together a team of people to go
Said it was a
behind
duck.
Economos's back while they're all getting drunk on a rooftop off Bud Light. And Eagly just tears them apart. I mean, it's
Absolutely,
also
yeah.
like the most American defense system imaginable as well. It's like every American should have an eagle defending
I'm
their home.
telling you, man, in today's day and age, we all need eagles defending our homesteads because you never know what tyrannical government cankled ass is going to walk through that doorstep.
And it was like disgusting and like a badass fight and absolutely a
They got graphic. It
hysterical.
was
Oh yeah,
crazy.
it
I
got
was
really
worried
graphic.
for Eagly too, though, at times.
Yeah, when he
They
was
do
like
a really
flying
good job
around.
of making Eagly, you think, oh my God, I hope something doesn't happen to Eagly. They excellent job.
I feel like it's his crypto. You can't hurt Eagly. Plus, I feel like killing an
No.
American eagle of
If
all
you actually killed a bald eagle, yeah.
like even
God.
though it's not a real eagle, like I still feel like you can't do that.
I mean, yeah, you're right. But I do like, Tim Meadows gets away and everything like that. But I really enjoy that we see these guys up on the rooftop and
Having
they're having those
fun.
moments
They're
and they're
letting
having
loose.
fun again. They're like letting loose. Hey, we're back together. And there's that really moment with, Chris and Harcourt and they're talking and she just, man, she is hard, just a hard exterior. Man, she is broken.
Oh
She's
yeah, she got
absolutely broken. It's
her
really
ass
sad to see,
intentionally.
Oh, she went to that bar, yeah, and got her
Yeah.
ass
And that's
beat.
just like how many of these guys would actually all team up on this tiny little like girl? Like I get like she was like putting up a good fight, but like all of y'all are gonna
She was
really
beating
get
him down,
together.
but yeah, then they all kick her and all that stuff. It
It
doesn't
does seem a
surprise me.
bit much.
Speaking of toxic masculinity, doesn't
I
surprise me a bit.
guess. Takes
But
one to
she's
know
looking for
one, I
fight.
suppose.
Yeah, and that leads him to drunk texting the other Harcourt, which she responds, and that's going to kind of set the stage for future episodes and things of that nature. Because now it's this world where Chris could have it all. His brother's alive. The other Harcourt texts him back because he saw that they had a relationship, and this current world he's in is everybody's broken. Everybody's, the cops and Argus are after him. Everybody just is off on their own, living this just torn up life, and it's really going to lead to some interesting moments, I think, down the road. And
Yeah.
James Gunn is absolute just mastermind in doing this, man. Like, if man, it's just incredible how good James Gunn is at just storytelling and getting the most out of his actors and doing these narrative emotional moments. I find because those
Mm.
have been my favorite with this so far.
Right. And outside of Vigilante, you really see the emotions of people and they're real people who are still hilarious and
Oh
save
yeah,
the world and everything. And it's like you see Chris, in the shower trying to scrub the blood off of himself after killing himself.
kills
And it's
himself.
like he knows he'll never get that blood off. It's like, how many
What's
people
gonna do
have
with him?
he really does want peace.
He does. At the end, he just wants peace, and the poor guy just can't catch a break. He's out here trying his best. And sometimes your best isn't good enough though,
Hmm.
unfortunately.
I did love the scene with Adebayo and her wife. I feel like there's more we don't know about their relationship yet because I thought
Oh
they ended
yeah,
on
without a
a happy
doubt.
note in season 1. Like they were like making
I
out at
thought
the
so
end,
too.
and then all of a sudden they're not together. I do love that Adebayo and Chris have made up and that they've become really good friends, but the wife seems to have an issue with that. She
Yeah,
doesn't
which
seem
is
to think about
interesting.
that. But she also made a comment like, "I thought we were gonna move back to Gotham." And so I love when they mention that because you, like,
Oh.
forget that you forget that this world is, like, connected to that
Yeah, you
world.
do forget that, like, oh shoot, that's right. I love when you get these name drop moments. They
Or
talk
even the
about the
jitters.
metropolis and the
Yeah.
jitters and the Gotham, like it connects everything and it gets you excited for this bigger universe.
Do you know what did we talk about when he tried out for the Justice Gang in episode
Oh my
1?
god, we totally didn't talk about when he tried out for the Justice Gang and Sean Gunn's Maxwell Lord, who, by the way, is not the bad guy you think of because his original comic counterpart was kind of just on his own side. But we do get Guy Gardner and we do get Isabella Mercad, aka Hawk Girl, there, and we see a Batman villain, Bunny. She runs out crying. Peacemaker's in there and he's trying out, and they're just talking crap with the microphone on the whole time. And it comes out that Guy Gardner was playing a trick on Maxwell Lord. And that was, oh my God. It was anytime you get Guy Gardner, I just love how douchey he is. It's perfect. It's everything I wanted and more.
I was a little upset we didn't see the alien guy with the kid. Remember he was
Oh,
supposed to
yeah, yeah,
join
yeah, yeah.
Justice Gang?
Metamorpho. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. But we still got, Guy Gardner and Hawk Girl. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool that they're playing a prominent part. And I do wonder if that'll come up again in the show or if they'll keep Peacemaker more separate.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if we get any more cameos because James Gunn has said that he is not sending episodes 6, 7, and 8 to anybody. Like there's some really
Because
good
he
moments in
doesn't
6
want
and 8,
spoilers out.
and there's big spoilers. And so I'm curious like what that means because I do feel like maybe we're gonna get some big moments then, and I'm pretty
Is it a
excited.
lead into Supergirl?
Oh, we can only hope. That would be awesome if we get, Supergirl somehow. Oh man, I don't know,
I
but
mean, she likes to party. Peacemaker
she
likes to party.
does. Oh wow, that would
Vigilante
be.
likes to party.
Oh no. Oh
Could you
no.
imagine Eagly and Crypto meeting each other?
Dude, just imagine Crypto flying into battle with Eagly on his back. That sounds awesome. Or those two like together. That would be so much fun.
Just flying
Be
side by
awesome.
side.
Oh
Yes.
man, I want that.
They
Man,
neither
I love this
outside.
universe. I'm just glad that I can love DC again.
Well,
Makes
they're
me
both
feel so
good
good.
animals that are like psychotic
Yeah.
in different
In
ways.
different, yeah, different. Like
Because
Eagly will rip you to pieces. Crypto is just a big dumb idiot who will also rip you to pieces.
right, but he doesn't mean to rip you to pieces. I think Eagly
No.
does mean to rip you to
Oh
pieces.
yeah, Eagly is very, very deliberate in the methods that Eagly chooses, which is
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, I don't have anything else. I really enjoy this show. I'm happy it's back. It's really awesome. Do you have anything before we wrap it up?
No, but if you want more of our reviews, make sure to be following us at nerdinitiative.com because we are dropping reviews the
Yes.
second each episode ends up until episode 5 because James Gunn
And
wants
we'll
everything else to be a surprise.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8 is going to take a little time because number one, I'm old. Number two, these recaps and reviews take time. So I'll watch the episode, then I gotta sit there and sit with what I did, and we'll do it. But yeah, we will be doing it. We'll be talking about it. Peacemaker's back on HBO Max every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. I thought it for some reason last week it was Wednesdays. It's Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to check it out. Go read our reviews, our recaps. They're linked in the bios of this episode at the same time. So you can go check those out. And thanks you guys for hanging out. Make sure, shout out to our patrons out there. I will be in Massachusetts this weekend, getting to probably hang out with Riley. Maybe I'll see Stacy at the same time. Who knows? And then, yeah, we're rolling into
Or that already
September and
happened because it's
October. Well,
Monday.
it will
Happy
have
Labor
already
Day. It's
happened.
Labor Day.
Yeah, don't go to work. It will have already happened when this came out. I know, but it's like the official end of summer, which is weird, man. We're already at fall, pretty much. It's crazy.
I know when I looked up what are we doing next week, and I'm like, oh my gosh, next week is the last one
It's,
before the Supernatural 20th anniversary. So
yeah.
we have to
Oh
figure out
my
exactly
god.
what we're doing for that.
We got to blow through 3 seasons of Supernatural. Let's go.
That's
What are we
not
waiting on? Let's go. Round it up, everybody. Get your demon hunting on. We will see you guys next week. Peace.